I was always against the institutionalized concept of marriage, both legally and religiously, without even being aware of all these issues, all these laws. I was just thinking that there is going to be a lot of friction. If two people don't want to be anymore, they have to file for a divorce, and in order to get that divorce, there's a lot of money involved, and there's a lot of time involved, and there's a lot of friction involved, and also there's a lot of family shit involved. That is why I always was against marriage, because that is like a huge step. Once you're married, that changes so many things, and if you want to get out of marriage, that is such a headache. So I was always thinking, if I'm going to marry only after being 100% sure that this is the right person, and I'm not going to just marry like most people do marry. The families who do arranged marriages, they just do a little amount of research, which is not exactly a research. They just ask around, they look at the information that is available, they try to pull some information from relatives or friends or people they like, mutual friends or somebody, and then all that information can be controlled, all that information can be lies, that information can be so incomplete that the actual information about them can only come out later. And in fact, you can only know about someone over a period of time, and that period of time is not just months but several years. And there's also the fact that people change. So even if somebody is in a certain way right now, 5, 10, 20 years down the line, they can be a lot different. There are cases where women are filing these cases against their husbands after 15 years of marriage. Bro, come on, like 15 years, that is a lot of time. Imagine marrying a woman thinking that I'm going to have a happy married life, and then even though there was an initial anxiety, that gets resolved with time. 5 years pass, 10 years pass, and then as 15 years pass, it comes out of nowhere, like boom. You never think that this woman who was your wife, your life partner for such a long time, would file a case against you for some silly shit. Like there are some cases where if the woman doesn't like the man for whatever the reason, it can be as stupid shit as a husband not getting an expensive perfume that the wife wants. Like there was a case where this woman filed this dowry case against this guy for this stupid shit. And the dowry case is not just one case. The women who file a case against the man, they file like 5, 10, 15 cases. Like one man was fighting 14 cases. Subash Atul was fighting 9 cases, and he filed one case against the woman. So basically he's fighting 10 cases, and he has been fighting for 3 years before ending his life. So I was saying, the parents, they do little amount of insufficient research and they just marry these people off. They put 2 random strangers together and they say you have to live together for life, and we hope that you both have a happy married life. Like what even? Like, how would you know that this is going to work out? How would you know if one of those people are evil? Obviously, the parent will think their children are not evil, and the other person they hope are not evil. But in fact, they can be evil, and people can turn evil because of anger or ego, and you never know until it happens. The way the laws are designed in India, if in a marriage the man is evil, the law is there to protect the woman. But if the woman is evil, there is nothing the man can do to protect himself according to the law. And when a man is going for marriage, he is literally gambling with his life. Once he gets married, the situation gets completely out of his control. So I'm into stock trading. One of the main principles here is, do not take trades where your risk of ruin is very high. And when you're marrying, especially for the man, your risk of ruin is very high. Like, if your wife is harassing you mentally and physically, there is no domestic violence act to protect men. Like, you go to a police station, you complain that your wife is abusing you both mentally and physically, the police are going to laugh at you. That is unavoidable. But even if they want to file a case, there is no law under which you can file a case. Literally, wives have a free pass to beat the shit out of their husband and then face no consequences whatsoever. And even if the guy is like the best kind of a husband a man could ever be, if the woman is evil, she can file all sorts of cases against him, and even if they are all completely false, and there is absolutely zero evidence, you will still have to pay up a lot of money for all the fees, and you have to pay a lot of money for the wife too. And if there are kids, there's going to be more expenses. And most of the time, there are kids in these sort of cases. In the current society, with the current laws, the best way a man can protect himself from these sort of issues is by not getting married. That is the only way. Because once you get married, nothing is under your control. There is nothing you can do to protect yourself against these sort of issues. The only thing you can do is give everything your wife wants, but that is not even practical or possible. Sometimes your wife can ask for things which you cannot physically possibly do. Like if she asks for a Rolls Royce and you cannot give a Rolls Royce, she can still go and file case and you can do nothing about it. And so until the law changes and there are new sections introduced which can protect husbands from evil wives, marriage is not safe for men. And there are a few judges of Supreme Court, High Court who have been trying to suggest that this law needs to change, and they have been suggesting a few real tangible changes. And the women organizations, the feminists, the radical feminists, they are completely against this. They have been protesting against this and they have been actively trying everything they can to not change the law, and they have been successful at it. When you go and talk about these issues to a feminist, they are going to be in denial. That they are going to be in complete denial. They will deny all the statistics. They will say it cannot be true. Men are the problem. Women cannot be the problem. All women are good. Even if they're going to admit it, they're going to say something like there are only rarely such cases where women are misusing the law. Women are evil and men are innocent. There are only rare cases. Since women are the major victims, this law still needs to exist in its exact same way so that men cannot get even a tiny chance to continue oppressing women. There are a few feminists who admit that there are a few innocent men who are being wrongly accused by their wives, but even still they think that the men are doing something wrong, and they just don't care if those men are even committing suicide or they are being wrongly accused, if they are having to pay heavy price when they are completely innocent. The women feminists who are fighting for women rights and don't give a shit about men rights are not people who care about social justice or the victims or the wrongdoers getting punished. They are just selfish women who just want more privilege socially and legally. They say they are fighting for equality, but they are not fighting for equality. Equality has already been achieved for the most part. In fact, they have already been given special treatment in so many areas, and now they are fighting to keep that special treatment from going away and for more special treatment.